From the Newsroom at news.com.au.
Well, there's some good news for Aussie workers. Pandemic leave payments come back into effect from today. Anyone who's forced to isolate due to COVID but doesn't have access to sick leave will be able to claim a one-off payment of $750 from the government. The scheme will run until the end of September. In other news, the Reserve Bank of Australia is set to be reviewed for the first time since the 90s. The independent review has been ordered by the government and will look at the bank's culture, operations and governance. Now, the Reserve Bank's primary task is to keep inflation between 2 and 3%, but at the moment it's at 5.1%. Overseas now, the UK has sweated through its hottest day on record. Temperatures in Britain reached 40 degrees in some parts. The hot weather has sparked grassland fires on the edge of London, which are threatening nearby homes. To sport now, and in the NRL, the Dragons have confirmed that George Burgess has been granted leave to spend the last month in a rehab facility. It's unlikely he'll play again this season. His club has stressed that Burgess's leave has nothing to do with his criminal matter after he was charged with sexually touching another person without consent back in March. To showbiz, well, it turns out that Britney Spears almost made a cameo in Home and Away more than 20 years ago. That's according to ex-cast member Christy Hayes, who had this to say on Hit Tasmania's Dan and Christy for Breakfast show.
And she expressed interest to be on the show. And our producer Russell, this is a long time ago, our producer Russell called a cast meeting and said, Britney Spears wants to be on Home and Away. Does anyone object? Everyone said yes.
Of course.
There was one person who was like, oh, probably not a great idea. And that was
Stewart?
Yes, right. Because he knew it would ruin the illusion of the show. But anyway, everyone in the end said yes. And she was written into this small scene, which was just her dashing through the diner.
Now, the cameo never happened because Spears cancelled all her media appearances in the wake of September 11. And finally, Brad Pitt was sporting a different look on the red carpet for his latest movie Bullet Train in Berlin. The 58-year-old actor wore a brown skirt with a matching jacket and combat boots. And I got to tell you, he looked bloody good.
Follow or subscribe to From the Newsroom wherever you get your podcasts.